to the podcast, Mr. Javuan. How do you pronounce your name? Javuan?
Javuan Banks.
Javuan Banks. Well,
Yes, sir.
you and Russ are probably the most well-known car guys. You got what, 200, 300,000 followers?
Yeah,
Killing it.
man. It's crazy.
Killing it. 15 million likes. I look just on TikTok alone.
Yeah. Yeah. Isn't that wild?
It's wild, man. Absolutely. Well, first of all, welcome to the podcast, Mr. Javuan Banks.
Thank you.
Tell everybody this man needs no introduction. If you do car sales or just follow car memes or anything like that, you know this guy. You've got literally some of the best content out there. How can everybody find you?
You can find me Javuan Banks on TikTok or on any social media platform.
Okay. Which social media platform do you do best on? Is it TikTok or is it Instagram, YouTube?
I do best on TikTok.
Okay. And let's get right into it, big dog. And I
Yes,
noticed
sir.
you
Is the
got
stream is the stream messing up? Is the stream like how are we looking? Because
you
I
look
got some
crystal
audio.
clear over here.
Okay, perfect. And then when I talk, does it go to iPhone 2 or something or no?
Of
You see
no,
that? All
everything
right,
looks good over here.
all right, we're good. As long as we're good, I'm good.
All right, perfect, man. So,
I'm
welcome to the show, number one.
Hello, hello.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
All right, so let's talk about the childhood. I grew up personally, family, mom, dad. No one was in sales. Um, I was a troubled individual, meaning I was just wild. Were your parents in sales? How did you find your way into sales? Walk me through that, or walk everybody through that, I should say.
Yeah, for sure. So like my dad sold cars,
Okay.
but not for a dealership. So like he would go to the auction, buy cars, fix them up, sell them. So like I saw that and I'm like, okay, there's money to be made. I mean, we weren't like down bad or anything like that. We had a nice life. So I learned the trade from him. I got to a point where I was like, I don't want to abuse my money because like you can take some losses that way too. Like you can get a bad car. So like
Absolutely. Yeah.
I didn't want to put any more of my money up front. And I was like, how can I sell cars or sell something without putting up my money? And then I got into the dealership life. And it was just
Okay.
like first month I sold like 20 and I was like, this is where I need to be.
Absolutely. So, how old are you?
I'm 23.
Are you? Well, congratulations. How long have you been selling at a dealership?
I've been selling for almost like 2 years at a dealership.
Okay. So, starting when you were about 21 years old, first month, so 20 something cars.
Yeah.
And what part of the country are you in?
I am in Dallas, Texas right now. I'm born
Dallas,
and raised
Texas.
from St. Louis, Missouri.
Okay. So, what took you to Texas?
Just more money, more opportunity. I wanted a different change. St. Louis is just a small city, not a lot of money going on around there. So it's just like I'm gonna save up some money and make a change. It could have been New York, it could have been Atlanta, it could have been Cali. I just chose Dallas.
So, what made you choose Dallas out of all big cities? I mean, Texas is amazing, but just curious, what made you go there instead of everywhere else?
Um, my friend actually moved to Dallas before I went to high
Okay.
school with him, and he never came back to St. Louis. Then he moved to San Antonio. Then he moved back to Dallas, but it was always Texas. So I came out and I was like, I like it out here. Plus, I know a familiar face, so we'll do Dallas.
All right, cool. Awesome,
Yeah,
man. So, have you been at just one dealership? Have you been at multiple dealerships?
I've been to one in St. Louis and then one in Dallas, both
Okay.
Nissan stores.
Both Nissan. So, you like Nissans?
Well, that's where I do, yeah. But that's where I got my first opportunity selling them.
Okay.
So when I made the move, I wanted to stay with something that I knew. Like I wanted to know the product since I moved by myself.
Yeah,
So
for sure.
yeah.
All right, man. So you're down there killing it. So just curious, what is the most you ever sold in a month?
22.
22 cars. And what
Yeah.
kind of money does 22 cars pay a 23-year-old?
It pays about 15,000 roughly.
Man, congratulations.
Thank
Making
you.
180 a year, man, killing it.
Yeah,
Awesome, man.
man. Thank you, man.
Absolutely. So
How'd you get this platform? I'm sorry to interrupt, but this is
no,
so cool.
yeah, you fire away any questions. All right. So I'm going to walk you through a Cliff's Notes version of what I do, how I got this platform. So I sold investments over the phone, did the Wolf of Wall Street thing for about 12 years. I did go to prison for 2 years because it was that Wolf of Wall Street thing. I don't know if you've seen that movie.
I definitely have a few times actually.
So I
Okay.
did that for 12 years, made I mean, very, very good. Made a lot of money doing that. And then I was on pretrial diversion. So meaning before I was about to go to prison, they kind of let me just get my life in order and stuff before I go away. So I had a friend, he was selling cars. He said, "You should give it a try." I said, "All right, cool," And I did that. I started on like the 16th of the month. I sold 20, I think it was 21 cars right at a half of a month. And I was
Oh
like,
my
shit.
God.
Yeah. So I was like, shit, this is for me. And I had a girlfriend at the time. I knew I needed to save money for her while I'm going away because she didn't have any sources of income.
Yeah.
Or if she was going to work, it was like Victoria's Secret, not making a lot of money. So I was like, I think I made like 12, 13, 14,000, something like that, half of a month. I was like, all right, cool. So I just got in the car business, did it for 2 years. And then I went away for my 2 years, got right back out. And those 2 years, a lot of people in the Louisville, Kentucky area found out about me, meaning my talents, just me being very good. So when I got out, a lot of people reached out to me, meaning like general managers, owners. They're like, "Hey, I want you to come work for me." And there was one guy that made me the best offer. He was like, "Hey, I'll give you all of the internet leads. I need you to turn around this Nissan dealership." So I was like, "All right,
It's a
cool." So I
Nissan
did.
store.
It was a Nissan store. Yeah. So I
Nice.
like Nissans too, man.
Yeah.
So I did that for about 6 months, crushed it. I mean, crushed it. Then that same gentleman ended up buying a Volkswagen dealership. That's when I really took off. Same platform, but they were only getting a few hundred leads a month. And that's when I started selling 40, 50, 60, 65 cars a month. That's when I just started crushing it. And then end up working myself up to running a Ford dealership. The same individual bought a Ford dealership, so I went to work for him. He very much lied to me and said if I turn it around, he would give me part ownership, and that did not happen. So me and him parted ways, and then I traveled the U.S., primarily East Coast, for about 6 months.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? I loved helping people. I love training salespeople.
Yeah.
And I started my platform. My sales training platform will go live next month, similar to Andy Elliott, just that type. And
Okay.
so I absolutely love it. Started a podcast, mainly just, I think one of the biggest flaws at a dealership life is they don't invest in their people. They just don't train. And
Yeah.
that's part of the reason why I did it. So that's why I started this, to get more people comfortable. I love getting in front of people. I love making videos, always have. So that's why I
That's
like
cool,
reaching
man.
out to people like you that crush it in the videos.
Thank
And
you, man.
you're welcome.
It's
And
an honor.
here's the thing that truly just baffles me. How many people at your dealership makes cool videos?
Just me.
And you would think, this is my mindset, you would think if you see someone like yourself crushing it, they would want to do it too, but they just don't step outside their comfort zone, you
Right.
know? So that's why I wanted to do more podcasts like this, where to get people on, such as yourself, Russ Flips Whip, the GOAT, that's got,
Yeah, he's
hundreds of
good, man.
thousands.
Yeah.
And, like I said, it's just it amazes me that someone like yourself, 23 years old, making right at 200 grand a year, doing everything the right way. And then these other people, they just don't copy it and, be themselves, of
Yeah.
course, but they don't try it.
Yeah, man. It's actually crazy because I do recommend it. I'm always like, TikTok's the way to go, man. Like, make some videos. It's an extra income too. So
Or let's talk about that. How much money you make off TikTok?
Anywhere from 5 to 10 grand a month.
Congratulations, man.
Yeah, man. It's pretty
Congratulations.
good. Thank
That's
you.
more than most people make with their full-time job.
I know. I know. It's a blessing, man, honestly. Like it just kept going up and up. Like it would start off at like 1,000, then 2,000, and then I started talking to Russ, and then it shot up. Went to like 7 grand one month, another month 10. It was just like, wow.
Dude, I'm super proud of you. You know, I
Thank
have the
you.
abundance mindset where if you do it, everybody can do it. More power to you. You know,
Yeah.
I spoke with Russ and he makes like 17 to 25,000 a month doing TikTok. And I'm like, damn.
Yes, it's crazy.
Yeah, so
Like
that's amazing,
literally
man.
crazy.
That's amazing. You know,
Yeah.
so it's just yeah. So what a very important question. What
Yeah.
made you start making videos? What made you just like, this is what I'm gonna do?
I just always felt like a content creator, man. I used to make content before selling cars. So I
Really?
used to like, yeah, I have another page with like 1 million followers that I
What?
don't, yeah, yeah. It was just like me though. And I was like 19 when I started it. Um, like in the midst of college, I ended up dropping out of college, but like in my dorm room, I'm making videos all day, like skits when your teacher catches you cheating, something like that. And like I'm making, and it was early TikTok age, like when it was like kids on that.
Yeah, dancing and
Um,
stuff, lip syncing.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And so I was making videos on there, started streaming, playing the game, and I was making a nice amount of money, but I was also 19. So I was like not managing it correctly. Got an apartment, was eating like pizza every day. It was crazy, but I would never take it back.
No, it
Um,
makes you who you are, you know,
yeah,
makes you
man.
appreciate life more. So
Honestly,
absolutely.
it does. So like I figured out that that's a way people make a living. I ended up going back to St. Louis because I was in college in Kansas City. So I go back to St. Louis. I kind of take a break, like a hiatus from like social media. And then
Hmm.
I'm selling cars. I get into the car business, and I'm like, if I can merge the two, like somehow create content, but around cars on a separate page, and grow that fan base of only people that like cars or would like to buy a car, um, I think I can get more sales. So it just started that way. And I was making a little content, and then we went viral one day, and I just replicated it and just kept going.
Well, let's talk about this. What makes you so creative? Just the way you were brought up, your personality, because you can tell your videos are very much you. You know, like you're
Yeah,
just very authentic. So
yeah.
how do you do that?
um, yeah. I just like to brag on myself for a little bit about my creativity.
Go
I
ahead,
pride
big dog.
myself on being creative. I don't like to take ideas. I may get influence from time to time, but I never like to like completely take ideas. I like to just think of something. Sometimes I even like plan it out, like plan a skit, direct it, put word for word, bar for bar, what needs to be said, what punchline needs to be in there, to make this video funny. Get the camera angle from this view, make sure you're turning it this way. I don't know. It's just, I just like to have full creativity over things that I create. And I guess I'm blessed in that area.
Buddy, you are beyond blessed. Do you
Thank you, man.
you're welcome. Do you still have that other page?
Yeah, I do. It's
You
Lil Bank.
Little Bank. L I
Yeah,
L
L
B A
I
N
L
K.
B A N and 4 Ks at the end.
I'm gonna look it up. I didn't even know that.
Yeah, I know. A lot of people don't. I do keep them separate because one's like somewhat professional as cars, and then another one was like you can find things from me all the way from when I was 19. But I had a nice fan base on there, so I don't want to get rid of it.
There you go, big dog.
Yeah.
Man, I'm super proud of you, man. Like
Thank you.
you're welcome. So yeah, there were certain people that I wanted to get on the show, you know, like and you were the top of the list. You, Russ, the GOAT, like I was like, I have to talk to this person because
Yeah.
your videos, man, are some people's videos are just better than others. You know, your content is just better. And
Yeah.
so hat goes off
Thank
to you,
you.
man. You're
Thank you, man.
welcome.
Appreciate that, man. Makes me
So
smile.
yeah, so how do you balance selling so many cars? How do you balance like creating content? Do you stick to a routine or do you just kind of flow every day? How do you balance everything?
And I love to be like I have a schedule and I stick to it, and I'm like so on my, but I'm not. Uh, like there's a lot of times it's really going with the flow. I try to plan it as best as I can though.
Okay.
But like if a sale's taking too long or something like that, or like my cameraman's selling a car and I can't get him to record at the time, it's kind of like we just got to go with the flow. Or I don't have a video, so let me make a video in my head real quick before this appointment shows up. Then we can shoot it, and then But it's kind of like that. I plan as much as I can, but a lot of things are like going with the flow.
Okay.
However the day is going.
My goodness. How
Yeah.
many hours a week do you work selling cars?
I think it's like 40. No, it's over 40. It's definitely over 40 hours.
Okay.
I haven't even put, I don't even like to like look at that thing, that clock out thing. Nah.
No.
Cause it's like it's days where like I don't take off days, or I'm in there from 8 to 9 or 8 to 10. And it's like we make a video, then I come home, I get a few hours of sleep, and then we're back at it. Sometimes you're just in that rhythm. And it's like
Yeah.
you're thinking about your next appointment or the next two or something you got to take care of with another customer and what video you want to make. So I really don't know, but I know it's over 40. I know the hours are insane, like
Absolutely.
insane.
Absolutely. The car business, man, and if you're successful in it, most of the time, that's why I was asking about balance because, to be that creative, to do that much thinking and then still prospecting, still dealing with customers. That's
Yeah.
why I was curious about that balance because you got so many of your followers, you many, you got so many videos. That's why I'm curious about that.
Yeah,
So
man. So
absolutely, man. Happy.
I
Hell yeah, man. Super happy for you. I don't keep saying that, but
thank you. No, I appreciate it, man. I love to
you're
hear it.
welcome.
I'm glad that you reached out to me to get on it
Yeah, for
on the
sure. So
podcast.
tell me, sell a car. How long does it average take you to sell a car?
2 hours, maybe three
2 hours. Okay.
on
And do you
average.
get a lot of, yeah, for sure. And do you get a lot of customers off TikTok or Facebook, or where do you get most of your customers at?
There's a blend of the dealership because the dealership I'm at is a pretty big dealership and they get a nice amount of leads that come in. So I get a nice amount from
Okay.
there. And then TikTok, I get a nice amount from TikTok. I have a link in my bio so where they can fill out like how their credit is, what kind of car they're looking for, if they have a co-signer, if they have a down payment. And then I kind of
Okay.
can prospect through my TikTok leads, and I get sales from there too. And then a lot of times when people are just in the dealership, like they could be working with a different salesperson, but they'll recognize me. So I have to like go over there, say hey, see how they're doing, and but I love it. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, for sure. Do you get a lot of people that just come up to you out of the blue, whether you're girl and out like
Yeah, a lot. Yeah, a lot of times I could be like at a restaurant or at the movies or something like that, and we're like, hey, you're that guy. One time, recently in December, last month or 2 months ago, I was with my family in Florida on a vacation. Me and my dad were at like some bar or something like that, just chilling. And somebody's like, "Yo, you're Javuan. Oh my goodness!" And I'm with my dad, and I didn't start really blowing up until I moved to Texas. So like
okay.
on the car thing. So so I'm with my dad on this Christmas trip, and the guy's like, "Let me get you a drink, and your son is amazing. I watch his videos all the time." And it was just a good moment because I had my dad there with me, and like we saw somebody real life in a different state like recognize me, so it was pretty cool.
Ah, man. Yeah. So what'd your dad think? He was like, damn, my son's made it.
Yeah, he's always like, I'm proud of you, and yeah, he's like, you got to show me how to do this Instagram stuff. Like you got this new generation. This is amazing, you know.
Yeah. Our just reach the world. It's just with one click. Obviously, you make a video, upload it, and then everybody knows it. So, does your parents still live in Louis?
Yeah, they actually plan to move out here in Dallas.
Heck yeah. They retired, they working or
My mom works. my dad works as well. He still sells cars here and there. And he has some properties in St. Louis. So I guess he'll transition into like selling cars out here.
Hell yeah. And then he's like, son, you got to help me make these videos.
Yeah, he wants a podcast and everything. Like he wants to go full social media route now if he can. So I'm like,
Yeah,
yeah, I'll help you, man.
absolutely. And then you know what? You're like, you follow my dad, and then he blows up their son duo. You can get
I
him to work
know.
at Nissan and yeah.
That'll be crazy, man. Me and my dad at the same dealership. That'll be crazy. Dynamic duo, you know?
Absolutely. So how many cars does your dealership sell? I know you said it's a bigger one.
Yeah, they sell about 200 cars. I want to say like because they have a whole new car side, and then a pre-owned side. Like you literally walk
Okay.
across the street and you get to the pre-owned side. So it's huge. So probably like 100, 150 pre-owned, 100 to 200, anywhere in that area, new cars.
Damn.
That's usually the goal at least
Oh,
each month.
yeah, absolutely. So 22 cars, you on average sell about 20 cars on average, make about 20, about 18 grand, 17 grand. So doing very well for yourself. They ever try to talk you into management or anything?
No, no, no. I average anywhere from like 15 to high 20s. Like that's
Okay.
me like that's I guess you could say that's my balance because like I've sold 20 multiple times and I know what comes with selling 20. Not saying I don't like to sell 20, but you know what comes with selling those high numbers, like you know the customers, and you got to make sure you're managing everything. And then the CSI scores, those are like a pain sometimes. So you
They
just got to make
are.
sure the scores are everybody's just taken care of. So I like to take my time, make sure each customer is taken care of before like completely moving on to the next one because
Yeah.
things can kind of pile up. But yeah, I'm averaging anywhere around that 15 to that 20 range. And then what was the question? I'm sorry.
No, I was just curious about the 15 cars, 20 cars, making about
Yeah.
180, about 15K a month, making
Yeah.
dough off of TikTok. So
Yeah.
crushing it in all aspects, man.
Yeah, man. I blessed, man. Really blessed. Moved
Did
out
you
here
ever
by
think,
myself, so
yeah,
just had to make it
self-made?
happen.
Did you ever think that in your wildest dreams that this would all come? Did you kind of manifest it? Did you just one foot in front of
Oh
the
yeah.
other? Yeah.
Oh yeah. We knew from day one, you know. How I was gonna get there, I didn't know, but I knew like social media was a wave. And then once I found out how much you can make off cars, I'm like, that's a wave too. So I'm still evolving, elevating, trying to get into YouTube, and keep elevating with content. And but like yeah, I did foresee this, um, and still have like goals like to keep going.
Well, walk me through that. What kind of goals do you have? I love goals. I've got 101 at any given time. I'll accomplish one and go to the next one. So what kind of goals you
Yeah.
got?
Well, I want to make more content outside of cars. So I
Okay.
still want my car page. I still want to sell cars. I also want something that's more authentic with like who I am too, outside of
Mm-hmm.
like the skits. So I'm thinking like days in the life, a gaming channel, like different channels that I can have for different audience. Um, and YouTube. I do want to get into YouTube heavily, and I think that's where longevity will be.
Okay.
Um, so right now I'm heavy on TikTok, and I've always been heavy on TikTok. But once I convert to YouTube, I think it'll be a game changer. And to have both of those like incomes,
Mm-hmm.
it's like making what you're making selling cars. I mean, Russ is already making what you're making selling cars with his TikTok, like 17, 18 grand, 20 grand. I want to get to that amount, just social media.
Yeah. Are you familiar with Matt's RV reviews?
No,
So look him up. He's on TikTok. He makes most of his money on YouTube. So
really.
me personally, yeah, I've never made any money on YouTube, and he makes several 100,000 a year just off of YouTube.
Gosh.
So
What's his name?
Matt's RV reviews. He's out of Tampa, Florida, and he no longer even sells RVs. All he does is just do walkarounds, makes educational content, and he makes so much money off of just educational videos, YouTube. I mean, like over 300K a year.
Wow.
So
That's
now
the goal, man. That's good.
That's rolling. So, so yeah, I had him on here about a couple weeks ago. I never knew. Like, I thought he still sold RVs. He doesn't. He made so much money off of TikTok, off of YouTube, and he was like, "You got to do YouTube. That's the secret." He was like, "I make decent money off TikTok, but YouTube, that's what pays us."
Man,
So,
and I've been hearing that.
so
I've been hearing that. You said you're
YouTube is
trying to
the
get
way
into
to go.
YouTube too?
Absolutely. So I've
Yeah,
got some
man.
stuff in the works. I recently tried to buy a dealership. It didn't go. It went good until the person that was kind of fronting the money backed out. So that kind of fell apart. And now I've got a few more ideas that no one has done thus far that I know of selling cars. So that's going to be hopefully releasing the end of this month. And I can't
Cool,
wait.
man. Hey, I can't wait too, man. I'm subscribing for sure. We can do this YouTube thing together. Start from zero to hero, you know?
Absolutely. So that's the goal, man, is to have great content where all kinds of people watch you, be educational, where people learn. Let's talk about that. So does your dealership provide any type of training, or how did you, I know you said your first month you sold 20 cars. Was it just because of your personality?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, for sure. I would like to think so. And when I first started, mind you, I was in St. Louis when I first started before I moved to Dallas. So
yep.
I sold 20 just off the strength of seeing how much I could make. Like I saw that pay plan. I was like, you mean to tell me I don't have to buy no cars? I just got to sell this and I get paid a commission. Like deal. And that was it. Like I just went off to the races. Like I didn't really know what I was talking about with the cars. I knew the basics. I knew how to set up a phone with the Bluetooth, but like that's just from me being young, I guess. So it was like I knew the basics. I just had to get the pencil, the pencil. And I told my mom that I'm like, I can sell a car. It's just when I get to explain the numbers, that's where I choke. And so one night, it took me one night. And I'm like, I'm going home, I'm studying this. Like I was watching Andy Elliott, I was watching whatever I needed to watch, studying how to present this pencil and know what I'm talking about and be confident. And once I got that the next day, I was like, no one needs to be on my deals. I'm not splitting any deals. I got this. Boom.
Took
And
ownership.
I got,
Absolutely.
yeah. And it just went from there. Then I understood it, just took off from there. I just had to understand that part because I knew I could make a friend when selling a car.
Absolutely. So, so you killed it right out of the gate. So that's just, what did they think when you first came in there first month? I know you have all of these older people that's been there for years. They don't even sell 20 cars. Did they hate on you, or how did that go?
Yeah. It was
Comes
a
with it,
lot of,
don't it?
it comes with it, man. And I mean, that happened kind of when I moved out to Dallas, and I already had in my mind, I'm going in there and I'm about to sell like 15 or more. I'm by myself. There's probably gonna be people that don't like me. I don't care. I'm gonna hit in this corner, make these calls. I was making like 100 calls a day, 400 texts. It was crazy, like madhouse, to the point where like people just came to see what was up. Like this guy's making way more phone calls. He's getting customers. I don't know how. I didn't have any traffic out in Dallas except for what I had to make picking up that phone. So then I just became friends with people who worked hard at the dealership. Like I guess people who work hard recognize other people that work hard.
100%.
So it kind of it went from there. And then now I have a nice relationship with everyone at the dealership, and they kind of know me as the guy who makes the videos, like the social media guy. So it all worked out.
Has any of the videos ever got you backlash from the managers, customers, or anything?
uh one did. I had to take one down. It was market adjustment video.
Okay.
Yeah, I was making a video on the Nissan Z, and I was like, there's a market adjustment, and I'm like, no, I'm not paying that. That's too much. Never paying a market adjustment, because that's how people act when they have to pay a market adjustment. And I guess someone like in BHA, Berkshire Hathaway, seen the video and then texted my GM, and my GM got to me. But my GM's really cool and lenient on like my creativity. Just like don't do anything that's gonna mess up the reputation or anything, which I don't. I don't plan to do either.
Yeah. So who owns your store? Does Berkshire own a percentage of it or have some,
No,
obviously they have some influence or?
no, I believe they're owned by Berkshire Hathaway. Yeah,
Okay. That's why I was going to
fully.
say, yeah, if they reached out to the GM that quick, I figure they got some pull,
Yeah,
man.
yeah, for sure. So, but they got a lot of stores like in Dallas.
How many they got?
Like I believe over 100 dealerships. They have a lot of
Damn.
dealerships.
So
Yeah,
they own the Dallas market.
pretty much. I'm sure they have more outside of Dallas too,
Yeah.
because
So
it's
I
owned by Warren Buffett,
correct.
Berkshire.
Yep.
So
So I did a podcast last week with Chris Martinez, and
yeah,
he's out of San Antonio. And, you know, Texas is just so big of a state. It's amazing, like
yeah,
how many cars that Texas sells. You know, it's
it's
just
crazy, man. It was a night and
crazy.
day difference from like St. Louis to Texas.
Damn. So you're living the dream, man, making all these cheese famous everywhere. And yeah, man, that's awesome. So absolutely.
Thank you, man. Thank
You're
you.
what? So you tell me, what is the next thing that you're going to do? Just you're going to stay in the car business, keep making content. You're going to do life in the life of yourself. So you're going to
Yeah.
do all just more content. Are you going to be able to sell a ton of cars and do that?
I don't know. I don't know. I feel like when we get to that point though, like if I feel like I'm overwhelmed, I'll pick which one makes me happiest. If that makes sense, I guess. Like and I feel like it'll be content. Like if it's content, if I'm overloaded with content or overloaded with money that I'm making from content, then I think I'll stick with content, you know. But I also love selling cars. So it's like it's the interaction with people that I like. I just don't think I'd have to sell 20 or 30, to be able to like live the life I need. Like if I can get a nice schedule, sell a nice amount of cars, like 12 or 15, and then I got my videos over here doing good, I'm happy, you know?
Absolutely. What kind of hobbies do you have? I know obviously you're balancing it so good right now. Do you have time for any hobbies or do you consider that your hobby?
Content is my hobby, yeah. So like I just invested in a setup to do gaming because I like gaming. I've always liked gaming. So like to make content on games, me playing the game with my friends, I think I could go viral and make a nice fan base off of that. And sports, I love basketball. I literally live right by the American Airlines Center where the Mavericks play.
Yep.
So I like basketball. I go to the games a few times, like on Sunday or Saturday night, and I watch a lot of basketball. So I would say
Yeah.
between those and making content, that's what I got time for until I have to go back and sell cars like tomorrow.
Here's an idea. Okay. You like the Dallas Mavericks, some cool content for the Mavericks, and then Mark Cuban can get you in there, and then you can work Mavericks.
Say that one more time.
I said, why don't you do this? Make some content around the Mavericks. They got one of the best players currently right now. Make some great
Yes.
content for them, go viral, and then you can go on for Mark Cuban for the Mavericks.
That sounds amazing. That sounds amazing. I want
I
to do
love,
that now.
yeah, I love basketball too. So did you grow up playing basketball?
Yeah, man. I'm a short guy, if you couldn't tell from my videos. So like I didn't go too far, but the skill was there. Like when I tell you the skill was there, it was there. It was just a height thing, you know. You got people like Victor Wembanyama going to the NBA, 7 foot. The game's
Can
changing,
can
evolving.
three a score now. Us like I'm 5 foot 6.5, 5'7" on a good too. I know that from the videos as you mentioned. So yeah,
Yeah,
it was I played basketball too. I'm from Kentucky. Everybody in Kentucky, we're more of a basketball state than a football. There's no pro teams here. So yeah, we're basketball people too, man. So
that's
and
good,
all of
man.
that.
I love
Yeah.
basketball.
So you gotta make some for the Mavericks. And I'm
No, I
telling you,
definitely
he's
do.
super cool dude. Or he'd be like, hey, come content or something.
That would be so surreal, man. Like that would be crazy. Like I'd be calling my mom first thing, Mom, guess what? I gotta do
Try
that.
try it out. You know, make such good content. I would take off whatever you apply yourself after just speaking with you for 30 hundreds of your videos. I would say that, you know, you would succeed at whatever you do.
Thank
Sincerely.
you, man. Thank you. And
So what
same to you,
days?
man. You got this going on, man. Podcast. You're running the store right now, right?
I haven't taken it over yet.
Okay.
So the videos that kind of in my regard was there training the dealership. I was training the employees how to make phone calls, how to do good on the phone, call people back, all that good stuff. I've ran dealerships, yes. I've sold many cars. So
Yeah,
trying
selling
to
50 to
I've got an
60 cars. Can we talk about that?
let's do it.
How? Like I haven't I, like man, that just blows my mind, man, when I hear people selling that amount of cars.
And so I would get 50 enter leads a month on average. And that means that I'm going to get, roughly speaking, about 35 deals because I would always close around 14, 15%. Some months be more, tad bit less. So that was roughly speaking 35 deals. And then on top of that, it really took me off. Old people, a lot of people take pictures, a lot of people become friends with them. But what people don't do is all of people say, I would start messaging and I would just say, your friend was amazing to work with. I helped him get this car. If you would like to upgrade your car, please let me know. I'd love to help you. And I send that person a
Mm-hmm.
friend too. And when my referrals and just the people leads, because when 40 cars a month and everybody at least knows 5 people that says congratulations. So it's at least another 400 people that I can communicate with on a monthly basis. So when I started doing that, would add every month at least 12, 15, 20 deals. That's when I started selling 55, 60, 60. So that little secret, it literally just from
Took you off.
40 high 30s to 50.
Like literally just messaging the people that say congratulations and like
Send
following
them,
up with them.
yep, sending them friend requests, sending them a private message, spam them and send them a ton. I'd send them one message, and I'd say probably 1 out of 4 would message back, maybe a 5. And those people, you know, when you're selling, it's just a snowball effect. And then
Yeah.
because you're friends with them, they might message you 3 months down the road, 6 months, to be like, hey, I'm interested. And then
That's
they
so
see you
cool,
keep.
man. That is a little hidden secret, man. Hidden gem right
Yeah, I've
there.
never knew uh 30 cars for over a year. It's like, what can I do? And I like playing with myself. So when I started building like trade, didn't really get pushback. I did 1,500 on the trade, got a little bit of pushback, and then I started 2,000 on the trade, and then that's when I started getting more pushback. So I started doing just $1,500 on trade, 20% of that, 30% of that. So, and then I was like, well, how can I sell more cars? Because now I'm making more money. And then that's when I started tweaking that idea.
Yeah.
So I'd always
That's
just
so
play
cool.
games with myself. And, you know, it just one thing to another. That's selling Volkswagens, which no, why very people, especially. So, it was fun, man.
That's so cool, man. And sorry,
Yeah.
it sounds like it's kind of breaking up a little bit. So I'm
All
like,
right.
here, I'm getting bits and pieces, you know.
All right. So you tell me, do you work 5 days a week or how often?
Most of the time it's 6 days, but I'll probably get like 1 or 2 off days throughout the month. Like that's not including
Damn.
Sunday.
So
So
you
yeah,
work a lot.
yeah, I work a lot. That's what I was saying. Like those hours, don't even look at it, man, because it's insane. As long as
Yeah.
you're having fun in your movement, you don't even think about it. Like if you come in, you got an appointment, the appointment lasts for however long, you get your video in, I might work another deal. And then by that time, it's like almost close to the end of the day, you know? And then
Damn.
like my cameraman, like the environment that I've created, um, and like my area, like where my desk is, time kind of flows as well because my cameraman sits like right across from me. So like we just sometimes we're just making calls, making jokes, talking sometimes. And then there's like two other of my friends now, coworkers that sit. So we have like a nice little area, a bubble, to where we get down, make phone calls, might make a video, somebody's working a customer. So the time kind of does kind of flow. You don't even
Mhm.
realize it as long as you're working, you know.
Yeah, for sure. So I always like to ask this question to everybody. What advice would you give someone brand new in sales, whether it's car sales or any type of sales? What advice would you give them so they could become successful quickly?
I would say make a friend. Like everybody says, every customer, the goal is to make a friend so people can buy from someone that they like, and trust. Second though, like down to the nitty gritty phone
Mhm.
calls. Like you can't, like if you have no social media going, you have nobody that you could refer, service phone calls. People that are coming to service, they're already there, they're probably waiting. They have like an older car, 100,000, 80,000 miles or something like that. Give them a call. Just be like, can I come over there and say, hey, like if you're in service right now, here, I'll come over there and introduce myself. Go over there, talk to them, and then just show them a car. I mean, they're waiting anyway, so those are the prime people I would say to call, and you can start getting deals right there. I think, and talk to everybody. That's another thing. Talk to everybody. It doesn't matter how they look, who they are, why they're at the dealership. Talk to them. When I moved out here, literally, I got a deal because people were pulling up to go to parts. Like they were pulling up to go to parts, and he had like an old Toyota. And I'm just like, hey, man, you want to sell it? We'll buy it. And he was like, well, I'll think about it. I'm just here for parts. He leaves. I'm like, whatever, making phone calls. Comes back like 20 minutes later and it was like, I decided to take you up on that. You said you'll buy it. I need a car, man. I talked to my dad and everybody's down to do it. I'm like, let's go. Sold him a car.
Let's
Super cool
go.
guy. He was there for parts. So talk to everybody. You never know.
All right. Any other advice for them? You think do social?
So wait, social media? Is that what you said?
Do you think everybody should do media?
Social media? Yes. Yes. Now, do I think will everyone do it? I don't know. So this is like if you're just in the car business, but if you have the grit to get on social media, yes, it's a huge game changer. You can reach a lot more people and just stick to what makes you comfortable. With me, I kind of went in the niche of comedy because like it kind of just flowed that way. Like I feel like it's easier for me to be funny and grab attention. But some people, like you said, can do walkarounds on videos. You can have a chill nature to you. You can have the Russ nature or me, but social media is king. However you are, there's an audience for someone um, to like you, basically.
Absolutely. All right. Well, any words of wisdom, before we?
Words of wisdom: save your money. When you make the money in the car business, save it. Big time. I know a lot of people, and eat healthy. It's hard to eat healthy in the dealership. I'm a victim. I mean, I'm a
Well
victim of
said.
that. a lot of pizza and like food moves going on. So like work out, eat healthy, save your money.
Do
As a
you eat
23
healthy
year old,
now at the
that's what I
dealership?
can say. I'm still learning too, but that's what I can say.
Yeah. Do you eat healthy now? Eat a lot of fast food?
I eat a lot of fast food. I'm preaching eat healthy, but yeah, I do eat a lot of fast food. And I do cook from time to time, but I'm not the best cook. So yeah, it's a lot of like ordering out. But
Big
I'm
dog.
a, I'm a little different. I don't gain weight at all.
You got a high metabolism, like
Yeah, like really high metabolism. So like a lot of people say when you're in a dealership for a long time, you're going to gain some weight. That never has applied to me ever.
Well, you're
But
23. Wait, you're
yeah,
about 20. When you're about to catch up to you, I always thought the same myself. Probably
really.
120, 118 for a long, long time. And then started pick up. I got up to it's about 30, eating healthy now today. Now I'm 141, 142. So now it's time to some muscle. And then not going to be no buff guy, a lot healthier.
Yeah, man. I need to hit the weight room for sure. Russ got me like on that wave of wanting to hit the weight room. He's like posting his stories sometimes early in the morning, already getting his workout in. I'm like, dude, I'm just waking up. Wow. So like I get motivation from a lot of the big content creators too.
You text them a lot or talk or
Yeah, yeah. He actually called me yesterday. We were thinking of a video to kind of do together. While because we're still far away. I think he's in Pittsburgh and I'm
yeah.
down here. So we're trying to figure out something we could do, a nice little collab while we're away, like far apart. But yeah, I talked to him yesterday actually. And then we brought you up. I said I got the podcast with you coming tomorrow. And he was like, oh, he's a super cool guy. We were talking for like 2 hours. You know, I'm a yapper. He's super cool. He likes your voice. So yeah, man. We talked about you too.
Well, man, we're gonna jump off here. If you ever need me, you have my personal self where I always pick it right back. Kentucky, blue pleasure, really one of my favorite guys on TikTok. Like,
Thank you.
so I know I'm kind of like stroking you up.
You're good, man. I appreciate this, man. Thank you. And I appreciate the opportunity too, having me on here. Hopefully we got some good content. I know like the stream was my end. It took a little minute to fix, but thank you, man. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. And then when your dad comes out there, help him go viral.
I will, man. Is this going to be posted?
How about to get together with my wife? She's the one that edits it. She's the one that kind of like schedule.
Okay.
We 3 before years.
Okay, that's a plan.
So
let me know once it's like up. That way I can send it out to my family. My mom loves these things. Like she will watch these. She'll probably watch this video 20 times and send it out. So like, just let me know.
So I'll hang up. I'll send you a text message, and I'll remind you as well. Have your mom written, watch it all up.
One more time. I'm sorry.
To text you as soon as we hang up the phone with the release date, and then I'll also send you a text me the day before it goes live, so you can actually know it and remind yourself of that as well.
Cool. Thank you, man. Let's do that.
All right, buddy. Well, you guys enjoy it, make all kinds of cool content, and
yes, sir. Yes, sir. You as well,
day.
man. Thank you. You have a good day today.